Let me clear this straight off the back. Just in case you can hear a whole lot of noise outside, it's because you can. um, we've got people doing some work in our backyard, and yeah, it's a noisy. Unless it's just me who can hear it picked up through the headphones, then that is a real treat. I'd like to share something very annoyingly relatable. I parked in a permit zone yesterday when I went to Pilates class. I don't know if you're the same, but when I get a fine, I think that I'm right. And I get really mad at the fine, and I get mad at the person who's given me the fine because I have clearly looked at the signs correctly. That's why I parked there in the first place. And then I realize when I look at the sign for probably, I don't know, a good 30 seconds, squinting with my mouth open, being like, huh? Am I really in a permit zone? After about 32 seconds, I realized that I am in a permit zone and that the fine was warranted. And then I still am annoyed at the fine person and at myself. $119. Anyway, just want to share that little piece of frustration. Like I said, especially when you think you're right. Every time I get a fine, I think I'm right. But I'm pretty sure it's the fine people that know how to read the signs. But I seriously gave it a good second. I'm like, oh, yeah, there's the green. I'm good. This is fine. Not a problem. Was a problem. Now I got $119 to pay. Anyway, not the point of today's episode. I want to share with you what I wrote in my journal. I want to share it with you because the other morning I had a really crappy sleep night the night before. And I woke up the next day, and you know when you're that tired, you feel sick. You feel I feel sick in my tummy, and I just don't feel right. My eyes were hurting. I'm like hungry, but not hungry. I know I need to have a nap, but I'm too, grumpy to have a nap. Then I got the fucking fine, by the way. Anyway, I woke up and I went for a walk along the beach, and I just came back, and I knew I needed to have just a moment of quiet and silence and my 3 good minutes. I talk about 3 good minutes in my book, or I write about it in my book. I've done a podcast episode on 3 good minutes, that it takes just 3 good minutes of something. It can be 3 minutes on the timer for meditation and sitting in stillness. It can be 3 minutes of feet in the grass, on the earth, in a body of water, in a puddle, in the shower. It can be 3 good minutes of watching whatever is in the microwave, and that's it. You're like, I'm going to be fully present and in this and with this for 3 minutes. So I knew I needed to do that practice. I could feel it in my body, and every bit of me was like, ugh, no, I can't be fucked. I don't want to. What's the point? I'm in a shit mood anyway. I'm tired as. This isn't going to do anything for me. And I went and did it anyway. I sat in my space, put a timer on for 3 minutes. That was it. Literally 3 minutes. And I closed my eyes and I just listened. I listened to what was around me, and I listened to any thoughts that might have been there. I listened out for any messages that might have been there. And the timer went up 3 minutes, and I felt really peaceful. I felt really calm and content and nice. And here's what I wrote afterward. I promise you, you need this. The silence. the stars, the quiet stare into the moonlight, the downtime, the laughter with loved ones, the beach, the water, the trees. I promise you, you need this. The 3 good minutes of nothing, of standing barefoot in the grass, the belly laughs with friends, the tears to fall out of your eyes, the dancing. Oh, yes, the dancing, the journaling outside in the fresh air, the softness of your kindly spoken words to yourself. I promise you, you need this. Your soul needs this. So, darling, be in the practice of this. Oy. They were some beautiful words that came out of me, came through me, I might say. Because isn't it interesting, right? When we're tired, when we've had a shit sleep, when we don't feel great, I think it's pretty easy for us to be like, ugh, I can't be creative, I can't write, or I can't be intuitive, or I'm not getting any messages from the universe. And fair, fair. When we're tired, when we're grumpy, when we're moody, and all those types of things, we block off those extra sensory, beautiful senses. However, when we do give ourselves a minute or three good minutes, magic like this can come through. And I haven't forgotten these words. And I know it's only been a few days. I only wrote them a few days ago. But it's reminded me of just how much I need what we can deem to be way too simple, way too basic, way too embellishing, way too selfish. It's like, oh my gosh, how many times do you have to walk the beach? How many times do you have to be in nature? How many times do you have to look for stars? How many times do you have to acknowledge the moon? And I don't do those things to tick them off and be like, yes, done, acknowledge the moon. Yes, done, stargazed. I do those things because they do funny things to my heart. Funny things to my heart. And isn't that such a beautiful thing to do? Funny things to your heart, or to be in the practice of things that do funny things to your heart, that move you, that touch you, that bring you a little closer to, there I am. Like right now, where I'm sitting, I have a plant just to the side of me, and the sun is just kissing it in a really beautiful way. Some of the leaves are in the shade, some of the leaves are in the sun, and it just looks exquisite. And so they're the things that I would deem like, oh, what a waste of time. Why would you bother acknowledging that? What's the big deal? The big deal is the absolute beauty, the simplicity of that beauty, and then how it impacts me, how it then makes me feel. And immediately I feel softer. Immediately I feel softer and a little more at ease, and like, oh gosh, it's really that simple, isn't it? It's really that simple, just acknowledging something beautiful. Whether it be the stars, whether it be the moon, whether it be the children playing down by the water, whether it be a schoolyard you pass by and there's kids laughing, whether it be journaling in the sun with the wind kissing your face, or dancing, whatever it might be. And today's it's a really simple message. It's a really simple, basic, beautiful message that I hope does something funny to your heart. And what I ask of you, and what I invite you, I'm not asking of you, that's up to you, you know. If you were my client, then I would ask you of this, but I'm going to just extend the invitation. What do you need? Right? So the first lines of what I wrote was, I promise you, you need this. What's the this that you need? What are the thises that you need? Doesn't necessarily have to be one thing. It's not only ever one thing. What is the this that you need? And are you in the practice of it? Are you making it matter in your life? Are you saving your fucks for it? If not, where are your fucks going? Where are your mattering matters going? And where's the gap? What's the gap? How can you close the gap? What's one of the thises that you can be in the practice of as I finish this, what I wrote? So, darling, be in the practice of the this. What's the one this you can be in the practice of? So, something that I've done this year, maybe I've shared it here or not, I can't remember. Another one of the this is that I've wanted to read a book a month, and I'm on track. Now, I know some people here are like, girl, I read a book a week, and kudos to you. Maybe I'll get to that time in my life. But I was always someone who had multiple books on the go, never finished them, and kind of felt shit about it because I wanted to finish a book. And I think maybe in the process of writing my own book, I just really wanted to honor this practice and also honor authors and writers, because now I know how fucking hard it is to write a book. But I have. One of the thises is to read a book a month. And I have chosen to read books that do funny things to my heart. At the end of the year, I'm going to share which books they are. But like, for example, Cheryl Strayed Wild, and her other book, Dear Sugar, The Lost Flowers of Alice Hart, The Midnight Library, The Top 5 Regrets of the Dying. They're just some of the books that I've read. And they're part of this. They're part of the this. And I promise you, I need it. I need it. It enriches my soul. And when I kind of couple them all up together, like sometimes, well, on my Sundays, my sacred Sundays, I'll get my book and I'll come up to this space that I'm in, and I'll open up all the blinds. And so I'm kind of got all the things at once. I've got the sunlight coming through, all the rain coming down. I've got a cup of something hot next by my side, next to me. I've got the dogs with me, and I've got a good book. And it does something funny to my heart. And I believe that something funny is that it brings me closer home, because I'm in a quiet space. I'm in my own energy. I'm in my own energetic field and essence. I'm appreciating the simplicity of the beautiful things. And it brings me closer to home, probably like those of you who are creative. If you get lost in your creative flair, whatever that might be, it could be knitting. Maybe that brings you closer to home, and as a result, does funny things to your heart. And so I invite you to start doing the things that do funny things to your heart. Because goddamn, we need more humans in this world that are prepared for funny things to be done to their heart. It means we're more in touch with our heart. It means we're more in tune with ourself. It means we're in touch and in contact with our intuition. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I believe that the more of us that are like that, walking around with Care Bear hearts. I mean, can you imagine if more of us had more Care Bear hearts? Because we are doing the things, the thises, and we're in the practice of them, that open us up, bring us home a little more, a little more, a little more. So I'm glad that took place. I'm glad I had a shit sleep. I'm glad I was a moody little bitch. And I came home and I was like, disgruntled. And I'm like, no, This is what you need. And then I was reminded, I promise you, you need this. So what's the this that you need, my love? What is the this that you need? And are you in the practice of them? If not, what are you making matter and giving your fucks to over that? There's your gap to fill.